Hello YouTube, we are back for another installment in relation to Mike Night Tiger's Exciting Comics. On Monday, the last upload, what I did was dry cleaning, I did some blue LED treatment, and I put it in the humidity chamber right here. This morning, after last night, I was a little upset because I thought to myself, the staples are replaced in this book. And they were modern staples. They were mangled. They weren't original staples. They're shiny. So let's see if the camera can get a better look at them. Let's see. There they are. Those are the staples. So I took the staples out this morning because it really bothered me over the night, thinking to myself, poor Mike Night Tiger, he's such a great guy. I can't keep these modern staples in this old book. So I took them out. And I'm going to find some period correct replacement staples. Then when I took the staples out, I started saying to myself, what are we doing here? Am I really going to do a quick conservation or a quick cleaning and nothing else? Not conservation, I take that back. And I said, you know what? I want to go a little bit further. And if you open up the cover, just like this, you see there's a lot of bleed through. It's really not in the best of shape, this cover. And I'm not going to do leaf casting or anything like that. And I spoke to Mike today, and yesterday was Mike's birthday because this is going to premiere on Wednesday. So I said, I have to do a little bit more. And what bothered me about this book, there's a lot of amateur restoration. There's glue, there's tape here, there's tape here, there's tape over here. And I'm not going to do fancy editing where I focus in because this is a quick nitty-gritty upload where I want to get going with it. There's amateur restoration right here, which I showed last time to you guys, that I feel should be removed. The blue LED treatment lightened up the whites a little bit, so I'm happy with that. But what I want to do is I want to try to clean this cover a little bit better. So I want to do an aqueous bath. I also want to try to remove the tape that is on here. And it looks like some form of archival tape, which is peppered throughout the interior. So I want to try to remove that. And the goal is no leaf casting, but I'm just going to do a line of 10 Gujo paper going down the spine to reinforce it. Or 10 Gojo! That's what I'm going to do. And I also spoke to Mike, and he gave me permission to remove this amateur restoration, so we'll scrape it away. And what I am going to do is I don't want to leave the portion of the cover missing, so I am going to show you a technique that I am going to use scrap leaf casting. These are all trimmings of leaf casting jobs that I've done in the past. I save a lot of the trimmings, and we're going to try to find the closest match to this cover when I am done washing it. And I am going to use a portion of the already trimmed leaf casting material, and I'm going to reapply it to this cover, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So that's going to be pretty cool. So let's get going. Let's remove this cover, and let's get these pieces of Ramey and Hollytex out of there. Let's get these two grates out of here. And then we have a little bit of water in here, which we can keep in because this water is not dirty. This was clean water, but I changed my mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my, and you see how this is not planned, guys. This is not something that is rehearsed. I change my mind on the fly sometimes. And that's fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the water and I'm going to try to remove a few of these, clean these covers right here. Corners. I had a rough day. You can see I'm in a work shirt. I was in court all day, battling with many cases and a lot of different topics that I deal with. And in doing my job, a large portion of the day dealt with me thinking what I'm going to do to this book when I get home. So that just shows the dedication that I have to these books and to Mike Night Tiger, because I want to do a really nice job, but a quick job. We're not going to make this a major project, but believe me, it's going to be a lot better by the time I'm done with it, and you'll see. So I'm going to stop the camera now, and I want to dump this out, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, we're back. I just put a sheet of scrap Polytex on the bottom. And then what we have here is approximately a gallon of warm water. I just want to put a little soap in it. We're going to put a little Palmolive antibacterial, just a few drops. Ready? Boop, boop. That's it. That's all we're going to use this time. And then what I want to also do is just shake it up just to get the soap distributed into the water. Shake, 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 shake. Blah, 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 blah. Just like that. Now we're going to put the cover in. And this also is going to be very good because I can also wet press the cover. And then we're going to pour the water in nice and slow. Just like this. Just to put it in. And this is really going to help to remove some of the staining. Hopefully it will help to remove some of the tape that's in there. And we'll just give it a nice soaking, not for long, maybe 15 minutes will allow this to soak. Because remember, it is not any form of calcium hydroxide or calcium carbonate. You can see now my dog is barking upstairs. I have the two dogs in my upstairs right now. I have a giant schnauzer as one of them. She's a really good watchdog. So if anyone comes into the house, there's really a problem. She is almost 100 pounds. And a giant schnauzer just won the Westminster, I believe, dog show. So we're going to let this soak just like this. And I'll see you in about 15-20 minutes, okay? Okay, guys, we're going to take this out now. It's been soaking for about 15 minutes or so. And I'm going to take it out very easily by grabbing the rame or the little piece of Polytex. I'm going to put it off to the side. And now what I want to do is I want to dump, I want to dump this out, okay? So I'm going to dump this out, and then we're going to be right back because we're going to do some wet manipulation, wet pressing, wet working on this book, and I'll show you what we're going to do, or the cover, so stay tuned. Okay, ladies and gents, we are back. So what I want to do is I want to put a piece of Polytex down, just like this. And then what I want to do is I have on the side here the cover, and I just want to lay it down nice flat on the Polytex, just like that. And then we're going to remove the piece that we used in order to take the cover out of the Aquous bath. Now I'm rolling on the side another piece of Polytex, that we're gonna roll over on the top of the back of the cover, just like this. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna rinse this out. I'm not gonna bring you with me, but after I rinse it out, like I've done many times on various uploads, we're gonna come back and we're gonna start straightening out and flattening out the cover so we can work on it. So hang loose. Okay guys, we're back. So it's between two pieces of Polytex now, and I wanna flip it over because I wanna see if we can start taking care of some of these issues on this cover. Now, we know that we're going to try to remove the tape, and it is archival tape. So the good thing about archival tape is that sometimes with soaking it loosens up, sometimes. But what I want to do is I want to tighten the cover just a little bit to lay it flat, because we're going to press it. So right here I have the tape. Let me see if I can slowly get it up, if it will break free. Now right here, I don't know if the camera's picking it up. I'm trying to do this with the camera not focused in, and sometimes it will peel off if we are lucky. So let's see if I can get it to slowly peel off, just like this, without pulling up any of the cover. And I think we are lucky, right? See that? It just came up without any of the cover coming up. So I'm very happy with that, because what we're gonna do is we are going to try, or we are going to, we're not going to try, we are going to replace the tape with Tengujo. So guys, what I need to do is I need to change the vantage of the camera. So give me a second because I have to get close. Okay guys, I changed the vantage of the camera. So I want to try to show you guys that you're able to remove this tape that was put on, sometimes just with soaking and manipulation. So we're going to use a dull X-Acto knife, just like this. And I'm trying to do it where you guys can see it, and it's a little hard with the camera, but I'm doing it nice and slow, just like this. And soaking sometimes allows it to come up, and that was the rip that the tape was protecting, just like that. So hopefully the camera's picking it up. Very nice. Let's see if we can remove the rest of it, because then what we're going to do is we are going to put a piece of Tengujo to cover this whole thing. And I'm going to do it right now after I get all this tape off. So I'm gonna do a little detail work off camera now, and I will be right back. Okay guys, we are back. So just to let you know, I was able to remove the tape. Came right off very nicely, successfully. I also was able to remove up here the amateur restoration. We got rid of that. Minimum loss, so I'm pretty happy. But what I want to do for Mike is I just want to reinforce the spine. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to use a piece of Tengujo paper. Or, what do I like to say? Tengojo. And I'm just trying to get a piece that's long enough over to my side here. But if I don't have a piece that's long enough, we can use 2 pieces. There's nothing wrong with that, and we'll overlap it. So right here is a piece, and I'm going to start ripping, because this you want to fray. You want to fray it, like I say all the time. I've done this many times. I've did this in Jeremy's Detective Comics on interior pages, but this time we're going to be doing it on the cover, which I've done. But I just want to fray the side, so that looks wide enough right there. So we're just going to fray this side a little bit, because this was a precision cut piece, and I don't want that. I want to fray it, so when it's frayed, it blends in better. And I'm not liking this piece the way I'm doing it, and that's okay. So you can just start over again. And it's a lot easier to take a piece off of a side that's frayed versus a side that is precision cut with a razor blade, because then you just have to rip it once and then you have a nice straight piece. So I'm gonna put a big piece on this, because this spine is not that, it's not in great shape. Okay, I could make it a little thinner over here, so let's trim it up just like this. Throw the scraps on the floor because I sweep it up, or let me put it, why am I being messy? And this is going to be a nice piece here, just like this. And I'm going to put it down just like that, and we'll trim it after it dries. Okay, just like this. And now we're going to rip another piece of tengujo to put on the top. And if it's doubled up in the middle, that's fine. Not a big deal. No harm. It will just make it a little stronger, because we're not going to see it. We're not going to see it because it's going to be covered by the book inside. And that's a very important thing when you do your repairs. You want to make sure you're doing it on the interior as best as possible. If you're going to be doing repairs and putting them on the exterior, it's a little silly in my point of view. So right there, look, we have the tengujo down. Now what we want to do is we want to glue it. So I have a brush just like this. I'm going to get my tengujo brush down, or tengojo, and I'm just going to put the methyl cellulose just like that. Easy peasy. Just like that. And now it's a lot better. And I'm going to resize this too with water and methyl cellulose. I just want to double up the tengujo by the staple, because this staple down here, I want to try to use the original type staples. And let's try to reinforce that area where the original staple holes are, because whoever did this in the past put new holes in. I want to use where the original holes went. Now we're going to do something, and it's going to be very radical, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I hope it does. And I'm here. I have my bag of the leaf casting scraps right here. Okay. I also have other formulas that I use of different color leaf casting. And I want to use one that is sort of white. And look, Peter Alici, I used to use mulberry as well, and different forms of specialty pulps and papers, but generally speaking, I do believe that the best way to do it is using good old newsprint. So this is a little white, so I don't know if I want to use this. And I'm a little troubled right now because I'm at a disadvantage, and I don't want to do it, then have to take it off, because I want to try to apply a piece of pulp here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. But the problem is I don't know the color that this is going to dry in, because right now we're looking at it, it's not a true and accurate representation of the color it's going to dry in. And by me putting and guessing the color of the leaf casting, it's risking doing it. So I'm going to opt out not to do it. I'm going to wait to do it. I will do it after it dries, and we can re-wet the whole cover again tomorrow. Okay? That's no problem. But what I want to do is we might as well resize it now as well. And I am going to do some pressing, some spoon work on the cover, so we can smooth it out before we put it into the bookbinding press. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paper towels. Okay. I have a little methyl cellulose we'll put in my cup. I'm going to have to make some more methyl cellulose. And then what I want to do is I have some H2O, and we're going to put some H2O in there, just like that. So it's about 30% methyl cellulose, 70% water. We're going to mix it up. And then I'm going to resize the cover to put some strength into it. Before I do that, let's see if we can smooth out the Polytex nicely by using this spatula. No big deal. It's plastic. I like using plastic like this. Less harm to the paper. Smooth it out just like that. And now we're going to put the methyl cellulose and water mixture just like this. And we can wet the cover after it dries again to get the proper color for the pulp that I'm going to put in to fix that area. And what this is going to show is that you can leaf cast without leaf casting. You can apply pulp without applying a suction, using a suction table or anything that I use in the past to leaf cast. You can just do it by simply using dried paper pulp that you have left over from a job. And again, I'll show you how we're going to do it, but I just want to wait before we do it because I want to match the color, because I'm very big with trying to match the color. If you don't match the color, in my opinion, it's no bueno. And that's just the way I feel in conserving books. I want to do my best to match the color as best as possible. And it's just the way I like to do it. It's the way I want to do it. And it's the way I will always do it. And CGC doesn't care. CGC doesn't care if it's a different color, if it's white, if it's brown. As long as it's paper pulp, I don't think they specify, or I know they don't specify in the literature in their on their website that they describe what conservation is. It doesn't say that you should have it where it is artistically nice or artistically matching. No, it doesn't say that. Nowhere in the literature. But it's just the way I like to do it. So we're going to put this now to the side. And I'm going to let this sit here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stick this through, or we're going to sandwich it between two pieces of my shelving unit. And then we are going to press down on it, and we are going to let it sit overnight under pressure with Big Bertha, and then hopefully it will be nice and smooth. But before I do that, let's move these pieces away, just like that. And I just want to do a little spoon working, so I can take this piece of plastic away. So I want to take the cover and put it on a flat board or a flat shelving unit, just like this. And we're going to take the spoon, because I know there was a nasty crease right here. I'm going to give it a nice little rub and try to get the spine nice and smooth as well. Just using a nice spoon. Very simple. And we're going to do the same with the crease here. And let's see if we can strain it out a little bit better. Just like that. Get the nice perimeter done nice. And this is essentially wet pressing, and it works. And when it's wet, you can work a lot better on the areas that need attention versus when it's dry. So I think I'm pretty good right now, guys. I'm gonna stop this segment. Whether we are going to continue with this upload, I don't know. I have to see how long it is. This may be a 3-part series. I wanted it to be a 2-part series, but it may be a 3-part series. So I appreciate your support. Thank you for stopping by. If I'm going to continue this, I'll see you shortly. If not. Okay, guys, we're back. I lied. I think I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. I have a gut feeling that this color would match very nice in the paper pulp. Gut feeling. And I'm going to go with my gut feeling. And if it doesn't, I'll just remove it. But I want to get it done. And so right now what I'm doing is I am cutting or ripping this piece of scrap paper pulp from one of my prior jobs. One of the prior leaf casting jobs. Okay? And I'm thinking, just like that, that looks pretty good. In fact, I need a little longer piece, so I want to make it a little longer. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make it longer, and I hope the camera's picking this up. But I'm going to show you how you can do this without leaf casting. It could be done, because I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now. And if you want a quick or a repair that you can do with paper pulp and not get into all the jazz dealing with the leaf casting table and whatnot, this is a good method that you can use. And if this doesn't work, if it doesn't come out the way I wanted it to, like I said, I will just remove it. Now, I don't like that as well. This is good, but the height is off. So we're gonna switch it up, and I'm gonna rip another piece because I want to be able to have it where I can cut it on top. I don't want to have it where it is not something that I can cut on top and trim it. I want to be able to trim it. So this looks pretty good. We're going to try this right here, and I'm going to trim a little bit, rip it nice, not meanly. We're only ripping things nice. And I'm sorry if these are long uploads, guys, but I think some people like the longer uploads. A lot of people tell me they enjoy the longer uploads, and this is definitely going to be a longer one. For a quick how to clean a Golden Age comic, this is becoming a little bit more labor intensive, which I am fine with, and it's good. So I'm putting this on just like this. You see that? What am I going to do? It's on just like that. Then I have my methyl cellulose mixture with the water. And I'm just going to rub the leaf casting on, the leaf casting pulp. And I'm going to be honest, guys, I do this method, okay, when I leaf cast and I don't like portions of my leaf casting. And what that means is, what does it mean, Jerry? It means sometimes when you leaf cast, the areas that I fill in are a little bit thin in places. And sometimes I don't like that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do there's a bottom piece missing. We might as well put it on there too and see if we can get that in nicely so we have a little bit support on the bottom, just like this. And if the color doesn't come out nicely, I can always remove it. And I'm going to actually take a little piece like this, a little thin piece, and I'm going to put it over where the staple holes are. And I'm going to wet it just like this. And then we're going to do some spoon work. Okay? So I'm putting it right here, just like that, where the holes are for the staples. And look, that came off my little piece on the bottom. And it happens. And I'll show you how we're going to secure it a little bit better in a second. And I'm going to put a little piece of paper pulp on the top of the top staples, just like that. And then we're going to use the water. I know it's off camera, the water. And I'm going to soak it with water methyl cellulose solution on top, just like this, on the bottom where we put it, on the top, just like this. And if I'm lucky, the color will match. Now I'm going to use some basic methyl cellulose, just like this. We'll put some basic methyl cellulose there, some basic methyl cellulose there, just like this. Now what I want to do is I want to roll a piece of Hollytex on top. So I'm rolling on the side. I'm not going to do my funny joke about the rolling, which I am doing by saying I'm not going to do it. Because I have to say I'm a little tired right now. I'm a little tired and I had a rough day. But that's okay. I want to get this done for Mr. Mike Night Tiger. I want to get all my books done for everyone. Jeremy. And then know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to work on one of my own books. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on one of my own books. And we're going to see how that is going to go. I have a few other books I have to work on too for people. So don't get nervous if you're watching. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down the paper pulp. Just like this. We're going to push it down on top just like this. And hopefully I was able to match it up. We're going to do some more sizing. The more you put this, the better it is when you're doing these repairs. Now this is the water and methyl cellulose solution. So I'm going to just put a little bit more on top of the Polytex like this. And then into the press. And then this is truly the end of this upload, guys. I'm not going to show you what I do putting it in the press. Everyone knows how I do it. Squeak, squeak with the noise of the bookbinding press. Everyone knows how I do that. So that's it for this upload. Definitely, guys, because this is probably a pretty long upload. And we don't need to be dealing with long uploads longer than they have to. So I appreciate your support. If you like my channel, if you like the uploads, why not give a little thumbs up, share, subscribe, do all those fun things for me. I would love it. So I appreciate your support and stay tuned.